Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for November 3rd. November 3rd is the 307th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 308th in leap years, with 58 days remaining to the end of the year. Oh, here's a good one. Today's word is hexiety. It can be spelled Haeccceity or Hecceity and pronounced with heck sound or hick sound. Although hick or heck, they sound pretty much the same to me, hexiety. Hexiety is a noun that means the quality that makes something or someone what they are. One could say that hexiety is what makes a dog or a fork a fork. Another unusual word that spell check didn't recognize. Don't worry, spell check, I still love you. Hexiety is unusual and just obscure enough that I had difficulty finding it in an example sentence. So let's suffice to say that philosophers might debate the hexiety of people and discuss what it is that makes a person a person. If you're talking about what makes a chair, or a cat, or what makes a star, you're discussing hexiety. The essence that makes a thing the kind of thing it is, different from any other thing. This word hexiety comes to us from Latin, a word that means thisness. Earliest documented use, 1635, hexiety. And with that, this is the birthday of Italian sculptor and artist Benvenuto Cellini, born November 3rd, 1500. He made sculptures in gold, bronze, and marble, and drawings, and even wrote an autobiography. I have certainly admired his work, but in learning a little more about him in the course of today's research, he sounds like quite a character. Benvenuto Cellini lived to the age of 70. On November 3rd, 1911, the Chevrolet Motor Car Company was founded, officially entering the automobile market, and in competition with the Ford Model T. If you've ever wondered where that name came from, Chevrolet, as I have, the company is named after some of its founders, Arthur and Louis Chevrolet. In addition, there was a third founder, William C. Durant, and it seems like Mr. Durant was really behind the whole thing. He had founded the General Motors Company 3 years previously, but had been removed from the board of directors in 1910 when his attempted acquisition of the Ford Motor Company failed, putting General Motors at some financial distress. I guess Mr. Durant wasn't really quite done being in the car business, though. So he partnered up with Swiss race car driver Louis Chevrolet and his brother Arthur to form the Chevrolet Motor Company. A few years later, Mr. Durant managed to acquire controlling interest in General Motors when Chevrolet consolidated into GM. Eventually, the Chevrolet line of General Motors cars was chosen to become the volume sales leader under the idea of a car for every person and purpose. They pointedly and decidedly set out to outsell Ford, and they achieved that, overtaking Ford as the best-selling car in the United States by 1929 with a car called the Chevrolet International. Henri Matisse was a French artist influential in the late 1800s and into the early 1900s, along with Pablo Picasso. We talked about Picasso the other day. Matisse was actually studying law when he had an attack of appendicitis. Ouch. He discovered painting while he was recovering and came to love it so much that he decided to become an artist instead. Regarding art, Matisse was a draftsman, which means he was good at drawing pictures, a printmaker, and a sculptor, in addition to being a painter, for which he is most known. Matisse's work is notable for his use of color and his draftsmanship. Later in life, when he couldn't quite paint anymore, he took to making cut paper collage. Henri Matisse was a very productive artist, and we mention him today because he passed away on November 3rd, 1954, at the age of 84. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that is called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.